Well, hello.
Hello, what's up, brother?
Long time no see.
I know, right?
Been doing great with the podcast. I appreciate all that. But I'm back, and we are here tonight representing another fantastic team from the state of Nebraska. And before I was calling this a little bonus episode, but these people are way too good to be a bonus. These people are an actual episode. And this is part 2. To catch the first part of Nebraska, watch last week's show right on our YouTube. Link is below. First of all, we want to introduce some sponsors of Dubby Energy, bunch of energy drink powders to get you through every day with just a little bit of a kick. And then we got Schneider Customs, all kinds of different things, T-shirts, mugs, mouse pads, ink pens, anything you want customized, we got you. And lots of other people. But we're not going to keep our guests waiting too long. Over here, this is Casey, my tech manager for Minnesota Spirit Hunters, and my ALL American co-host. Thank you very much. Let's bring up the DAMM Paranormal, starting with Mary Ross.
Hello.
And the rest of the team from DAMM Paranormal. Welcome.
Hello.
Hi. Hey, guys.
How you guys doing?
Good. Doing good. Thank you.
Awesome.
How are you?
So it's good to finally see you face to face. We've been texting a lot, but so first of all, I want to get into the show by starting with where on earth did you guys get your name? It is fantastic. I love it. I want to know the backstory.
Well, about 12 years ago, us ladies decided to start our own team, and it was Doreen, Angela, Mary, and Marcia. Okay. So that's where the DAMM came from.
Oh, that's smart. I had to process that there. That's good. That's really good. When I first saw you guys, I was doing a little bit of research, and you guys were actually the first team from Nebraska that I had gotten scheduled. However, another team came up that was way too good to pass along the opportunity. But when I first saw the name, I'm like, interesting, because you don't see creative names every day in paranormal fields. So, like us, Minnesota Spirit Hunters, straight to the point. We're in Minnesota and we hunt spirits. So,
right.
Straightforward, basic, simple. Okay, so let's start off tonight's show of Nebraska by talking about DAMM Paranormal. Why did you guys start investigating paranormal?
For me, I've always experienced spirits since I was about 8 years old. I could see them and hear them and stuff. So I was always interested in the paranormal.
For me, I've always had an interest in the paranormal. And I used to, I was a groupie for another team that everybody was kind of a part of. And when we broke off and started DAMM, that's how that happened. So it's all stemmed out of a love of the paranormal and unanswered questions.
Awesome.
Here for me, I just always thought the field itself was absolutely fascinating, and was a lone wolf for quite a while. And
okay, for me, well, I've started, I'm a physical medium, is what I call myself. I see spirit solid, just like you and I. I don't get the ghostly kind of stuff that they show on TV. I have spoken to spirits, so about the age of 4, could have even been earlier. I have so many stories and memories of that. And it was just something that stuck with me. When I was a teenager, I didn't want to do it. And I had to learn you don't get that option. So I was sick. I had brain cancer. And at the age of 19, after I was healed up with radiation and stuff, I did my first actual reading. And it's $150 for an hour. There was nothing like that feeling that I hit it. And, I helped somebody who had passed and somebody who's alive. So it's just something that went with that. And since then, I've done things like I've worked with Haunted History out of Colorado with a historian and the medium. So we did tours and things like that. And then sort of just branched off and doing paranormal investigations groups.
Awesome. Very Very cool. Now, let's rewind back to the very beginning of DAMM Paranormal. Do you guys remember your very first investigation? You mentioned about 12 years ago, right? Something like that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't really remember it. Do you?
What the first one was? Oh gosh, I don't remember what the first one was, but I can tell you memorable ones.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
We do
let's
have
go
top
with that.
fives.
Yes. So, all right. So, let's talk about your most memorable investigation. What was it? Where was it? And why is it memorable?
Exarban House. It was a house we did in a what would you call it? A housing subdivision here in Omaha. And it was in what they called the Exarban area, and it was built probably 1940s.
Okay.
Thick, 2-bedroom, 1 bath. I mean, your typical pre-war home. And
It was empty when we investigated it. There were the people that rented it out had moved out.
Oh, sure.
with lots of stories.
Yeah.
With lots of
Do
stories.
tell.
They would see things, they would hear things. They were getting lots of knocking and stuff like that. But for us, we had more experiences in that house than I think we've had on any one particular case. We were downstairs, for an example. We were downstairs in the basement, and there was a bedroom down there, and we were all sitting with our back up against a wall. Again, it was all empty, so there was nothing down there.
Right.
The upstairs had the original hardwood floors, and as we set up, we were 99.999% sure that we locked that front door, just for safety.
Sure.
And like I said, we were sitting downstairs and we heard the front door open. We heard very heavy boots walking across the wooden floor through the TV room and into the bedrooms. And we all kind of froze at the moment.
At this time, we were all an all-female team. So
Okay.
Paul is our newbie.
Yeah, I was not.
Colin, you're the oddball, right?
Yeah, in more ways than one. So,
Yeah, I'm going to relate man to man here with you. Before Casey and them came to my team, I was the only guy on the team, so I know exactly how you feel.
there you go.
I know it.
All right. Boom.
Well, upon checking it out, the door was locked and there was nobody up there, but we clearly heard those boots walking through the entire upstairs.
And something threw our camera across the room too. So our cameras are on tripods, and it was in the corner. And from downstairs, it sounded like a light fixture fell and broke.
I mean, you heard
Wow.
the crash, the
Yeah.
boom,
When
the
we went
shatter,
upstairs, the camera was on the other side of the room.
and nothing was
No
broken.
way.
It sounded like it.
Mm-hmm.
So did you guys go back and reveal the footage? Maybe see what did it, or
There was nothing on there.
really?
I'm not a big believer in orbs. So there
Sure.
was like an orb thing by it at that time. Can I say if it was a spirit? No, I can't.
We almost never can without solid proof. There's almost no way to tell whether orb is an orb,
Right.
So
Mhm.
sometimes there's times where I've caught in things that I just can't explain because it'll come in one direction, then it'll change its direction,
Yeah.
and you can rule out whether there's bugs or something. If you're in a house, there might be a chance it's a bug, then, but it's almost hard to figure out what's an orb or not. So
Yeah.
I kind of agree
Right.
with. So pretty interesting. So here on Minnesota SpiritCast All American Paranormal Tour, this season our goal is to show everybody in each and every state that they do have somebody out there to help them and connect with loved ones and cross people over and things like that. So that's our whole point of the All American Paranormal Tour, and by doing so, I want these people to know what the process is going to be if you guys were to be called to help them. So, starting with that, you guys have a pre-investigation process that you need to complete, like doing a walkthrough or something like that before you do the case.
I usually talk to them either by text message or by the phone and get all the details from them, like what's going on, when did it start, how old is your house, when did you move in, has there been any recent changes or anything. It's usually about an hour phone call with them.
Okay.
And then we set up a time for somebody to come out and take a look, or just come out. Everybody comes out there and we just walk through and look and stuff. When we do start an investigation, we always go there. Mary is in Texas, so she's our off-site medium. But I would do a walkthrough of the home. I take pictures and stuff and just see what I can see there. And then I send all the pictures to Mary.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm sorry to interrupt. A lot of the times is the things that I don't see, and that's totally normal. People just assume, like on TV, you see everything. Marcia can pick up where I'm not there physically. So we sort of 50-50 kind of going to help each other. So I have to have
That's good. One thing I've found out, and Casey can agree with me here, teamwork and communication is number one on a paranormal team. If you don't got teamwork and you don't got communication, you might as well not even investigate, because
Absolutely.
what's the point?
We can sit and explain with each other, and try to find rhyme or reason of it. And a lot of times I can actually give them a reason, who this person is, or, and then one of the girls to talk and look it up and see, the history on that person. So it's very helpful.
Sometimes days in advance, though, too.
Yeah.
And Mary, I think this happens to you too, but I know certainly Marcia. They may get visited days in advance in some cases.
Sometimes I get spirits that pop up before a client will even call us.
Oh, wow.
Notebooks.
That's the same with me for most cases.
A few years.
Yeah.
And what I do is anytime that I have a conversation with a spirit, I will write everything down that I can, from description to age to if there's cause of death, if there's names, and I write it down. And if they don't fit with anybody, that's cool. People can think I'm insane about it. I'm not with that. But I have years of these notes for it. My husband calls it years of insanity. But
I love that.
People, it's proof. Then it's dated and it's timed, and then it's something that one of the guys can just look it up, and that's like the most coolest thing ever.
Let me see.
And then there's sometimes, I don't get it. So even with myself on readings, 85 to 100%. But
when I have a new one pop up, I'm always like, that's not my normal spirits around here. That's somebody new.
Sorry, guys. Have to grab something from my daughter. She's getting into things.
Oh, okay. My boy was doing that. I actually had Mindy and Jess. Jess was calling me the other day, and he's like, I don't know if you had seen this person, and he named him off, and I said, oh yeah. I was like, he was the guy that was in the actual vehicle accident. He was arguing with a woman. I gave him a name, like the female was Amy, that the guy had the middle name of Jesse, and yeah.
One thing about when Mary and I work together, I tend to pick up on the more negative side of the spirits, where she picks up on family and friends.
Right.
More stronger, I can get more of it, and I love that, because to me it's like meeting somebody and talking to somebody. So I don't know, I sort of get excited about that because I don't see them as gone. So
I love it. We have members who have been a stop on the ALL American Paranormal Tour coming to watch you guys tonight.
Nice.
Hello. Thanks for rejoining us on the other end instead of being in the hot seat. So thank you for joining us again. That's very awesome, Mary, as far as keeping notes on the investigations. If I were, because I just moved on April 1st. If I hadn't moved and everything stayed in the same spot, we opened in 2020. From the very first case that I had done, I have notes from each and every single case.
See, I draw them too.
Oh, nice.
Wow. Can I still marry? That's awesome. And I think that's another good thing. And I don't run across many teams who sketches out things that they see too. So if I can ask you, do you see so how do you end up being able to draw these people? Just people that you end up encountering?
For me, I can honestly say they're usually the stronger ones that have been around longer. Like that one was popping up through my family. And so I was able to see him more, just the images, the video, pictures, and go from there. It happens sometimes with our clients. If Marcia, Paul, Doreen is looking at somebody and I could be like, do they look like this? You know, and the person will say, yeah, you know. So it's usually the stronger ones because the newer ones, I don't get to do that. That usually falls into my notes to where I write hair color, eye color, whatever I can get off of them to make them. My goal is to show people that this is a person. And they had a life, they had a story, they had, and if we can find the proof on that through whether it be EVPs, pictures, anything like that, that just makes it even more wonderful.
Casey, you take it away for a minute. She's getting into everything. I'm sorry, guys.
That's okay. So, what are the best places you guys been? What are the best places you guys been to?
The best place I've been to?
Yeah.
My favorite for me, Stanley Hotel in Estes Park. Yeah.
That's my bucket list.
I'm sorry, you're low. Either that or I'm just so straight up down. Okay, well, for the Stanley Hotel for myself, I just went on tours and things like that. You know, when I pick up on somebody, then I can have a notebook with me and write stuff down and match it with tour guides and things like that. So there's so many people there living in.
Yeah, that's one of my hotspots I want to go to.
Poor baby. Sorry.
That's all right.
And for us here in Omaha, we don't usually go to too many places. We specialize in private resident cases, so that's where most of our time is spent. I would probably say the best place we've probably been to is Malvern.
Yeah.
Well, Malvern,
Absolutely.
and you've got to mention Villisca too.
Yeah. Villisca's pretty good. So Villisca,
But certainly Malvern.
And Malvern.
Yeah. In
Marshall.
Iowa.
What about that park that we did that time? I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
is it Hummel Park?
Or Antelope.
It's Hummel.
Hummel,
Yeah.
yeah.
We loved it there. And I'm not even from there.
That's awesome.
Hummel Park has its stories.
Yes.
And this is in Nebraska?
Yes. It's
Okay.
Mhm.
I
Okay.
videoed it for.
Oh,
Physical
okay.
stuff it's been Estes Park, Stanley Hotel in Estes Park, and New Orleans. I love New Orleans. Haven't been there in years, but it's great. I used to go with a little girl and I was never scared of it. Yeah, those are the main ones.
My mom's house is very haunted.
Yes.
There every weekend. It's still just
So
Active.
is mine. My house is haunted.
very active there.
I have yet to determine whether my new one is or not. I'm not sure. I got a box of paranormal equipment sitting in the corner that I'm dying to pop open. I haven't popped it open in a good 2 months or so, but we got a case coming up in just a couple of weeks in Wisconsin, and I'm super excited to pop that box open again. There's a bunch of cool stuff in there, so
That'd be cool.
you pop it open and you hear the angels singing. That's how exciting it is.
Well, a thing that makes us unique from other paranormal teams is the equipment that we use. There's no other paranormal team that has that equipment. Paul, we call him the wizard. He makes all of our paranormal equipment.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Looking to make some money? I might need some.
Yeah. No, my passion is in the research of it, and there's just not enough hours in the day.
When we first came across Paul and we seen his equipment, we either gave him a choice to either join us or get shoved in the closet.
And we take his equipment.
Hog-tied. We take his equipment.
Yeah.
I still got rope burns from that.
Oh, I imagine. That's awesome. That's very cool. Now that brings up an exciting thing. So, how do you make these sensitive pieces of equipment that could easily be triggered by a spiritual entity? Like, is there certain techniques that go into it?
Over the past couple of decades, I mean, I to me, the most compelling, and it's just to me, the most compelling evidence are EVPs. I think audio is the low-hanging fruit. And over the course of investigating, I've thought about it a lot, and I've developed theories, and I've been fortunate enough to know enough about electronics to try to create things to exploit a theory, shall we say. And they've not all been gems, but for one thing, I feel blessed to be working with these ladies and Mary. That's an absolute blessing to me, and it's really cool to be able to contribute in a way where these ladies and Mary, the skills that they have, but then to actually capture evidence that correlates to what they've seen is just, it's a feeling I can't describe.
Right.
But, that said, I'm a programmer. I've been programming since the late 70s, and I've taught myself enough electronics to become dangerous.
Oh boy.
And so through those, I'm blessed to be able to utilize those two skill sets to try to assemble devices that will help capture paranormal evidence for us.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think we lost him.
Yeah, we lost.
I think so. Yeah, I think we lost him for a minute.
The ghost got him.
Yep.
I remember. Do y'all remember when Brian called me for help, and then that's how I ended up meeting you and Marcia? And I don't remember when that was. That was so long ago. I've got like old lady brain.
14 years ago.
Yeah, it was just they called me for help. At the time, I did not know the girls or anything like that, and we hadn't made our group. It was Brian Kent, and
Alan.
he was struggling with a family that he was helping. And when he called me the one night, he's like, "I don't know where this noise is coming from. I just can't find it." And I was like, "Oh, okay, it's this." And I don't know if I could say it. This person had committed suicide. But I was able to tell, all these details and things on it. And then he would go and he could look it up and be like, okay, And then I said, well, you can ask neighbors because it's an old area. So the people that lived there during this moment. And that's when I told Whitney, and she took it upon herself. I said, if you feel strong enough to do that. I would recommend it. And she did. And I gave them a name. I gave them the cause. I gave them, I was able to bring closure, I guess, for the moment. That's why that one was always important for me.
Mm-hmm.
That, anybody who feels bad enough that they have to do that, and
Right.
want him to just hang around, for that. But that was the main one that I was able to work with. And then we did our thing. So, which is great. I'm glad we did that. Yeah.
If I could add, something else in regards to investigations, and I think both of you, Mary, can attest to this as well. When there's children involved, we make it a priority.
Mm-hmm.
Not that we get, not like every single one of our cases target children.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, if we get cases that
Yeah.
involve children, we're going to be on it.
Yeah. And I'm the same way. I agree on that. Yeah.
There's nothing worse than having a child tormented by something they don't know.
Right.
And for me to have
So
lost a child, that I can sit there and tell this child, you're okay. You're going to be all right. And there's so many have come through on that. And I'm like, that's like, I agree with the group. It's not something that this talks about. So.
Is she okay?
Who? My daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's okay. She's just wanting everything right now.
How old?
2. She'll be 3 in July. So.
So long ago.
Oh,
Hey.
hi, sweetie.
She wants every little thing right now. She's upset about it. She'll be okay. But I apologize for leaving. My computer died. So to get back into the investigation thing, and first of all, before I move on, it looks like you guys have lots and lots of fans out there.
We've actually, we had our own show in 2019. It was called Damn Ladies of the Paranormal. So it was through Terrify and Viddy Space.
We did on
It aired on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, so it's on Amazon Prime, and then we've been on TV several times. We've been in newspapers, on the radio. We've been all over. We have quite a few fans out there.
Casey, we got some celebrities on our hands, huh?
I'm sorry, what?
I said we got some celebrities on our hands here.
Right.
So to move back into the investigation thing, since we talked a little bit about your before investigation, during the investigation, what makes each and every investigation unique? And that's one thing about investigations. Each of them are unique in their own ways. But what are some techniques that you guys do that other teams might not?
Well, not only do we have Mary that can see stuff, but I've also been able to see spirits since I was 8. So for me, each one is different just by the things I see in their home and how it affects the living people that's in there. So each case is different that way, I guess, and how I speak to somebody there or how I address something that's there.
And I've not investigated with other teams or anything, so I don't have much to go on as far as other teams. But if other teams have folks like Mary and Marcia and their skills, I hope they do, because the insights that they come up with and then can be, verified is just uncanny. So I think, and I don't know if that's I don't know how unique that is as far as how accurately that they can see things and come up with things. So I certainly think it's unique.
Yeah, I also will cleanse the home after we're done investigation, and if I feel that the person being affected by this is taking a toll on them just by seeing their aura, I will also do a spiritual cleansing on the person.
Okay.
Also, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're fine.
I was just going to make a comment on, since we were talking about during investigations, I know Marcia gets scratched a lot. Looks like she's had like ruins scratched into her, letters scratched into her.
Heck, we've seen words.
Yeah.
I seem like for me, I feel I'm a pagan. I'm a witch, and I think I am targeted because of that at some point, because I had one time at a home, I had witch carved into my arm.
Wow.
And there's our fair share of audio evidence that would express some of those feelings.
They're just like
Marsha
towards me
a lot.
Yeah. I think we've had EVPs that have very strongly suggested we get the witch out of there. Just very, very vocal, very loud.
We get the W word and this very similar rhyming word with the B sometimes too.
Yeah.
Yes, we have.
Absolutely. I mean, I've stood right in front of Marcia and watched things happen. And it wasn't me doing it.
Right. And so in a moment like that, what is your method of protection? How do you guys protect yourself?
I protect my team. I don't really protect myself. I know that I'm going to be attacked either way, but I don't want anything attacking my team.
Absolutely.
So I always protect my team. I rather take the blunt of it than anybody else on my team. I don't mind.
Here I have boundaries, blessing, protecting, salt, things like that. Just previously before, like you said earlier, that we do have them come before we even do our investigation. Some of them will be very upset. Didn't tell me towards the end. They get mad that I'm telling who they are and their business. And usually they will, and I shouldn't laugh about it, it's just unbelievable. They will threaten to get Marcia for it. And that's all the way here in Burleson, Texas, so wow. And I'll have to tell her, like, well, she's at home or something, in 2 days, you need to go and, ready. But and she still gets attacked anyways. So
Wow.
I brought one home from York, Nebraska. How long ago was that?
Beginning of the year, wasn't it? January?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. It was back in January, and I brought something that did not like me there, and it's been with me ever since. So I get tapped on a daily basis with it.
So knowing that you're the how do I put this? Knowing that you're kind of the root of the attacks, does that terrify you a little bit?
Absolutely not.
No? Mm-hmm. Okay. Wow. So you obviously have see me, I don't have many fears when it comes to the paranormal. I've experienced many things, continue to each and every investigation, but something like that, I don't know, I would feel a little uneasy about. So
I was only uneasy the time I got choked, and the time that I was in New York, and it attacked me pretty well in the basement.
Yeah.
Like it really went at me.
And that was the time I was standing, I was behind you at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I did go upstairs and try to collect myself.
I think there's been 2.
I don't think I was more scared. I was more mad that it was doing that.
I mean, out of all the investigations we've done, I think there's only been 2 where we have physically had to remove you from the situation, from the location where we're investigating. Yeah, one of them being the Exarban house.
Yeah, the Exarban house.
Yeah.
That one kind
Right.
of took over.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I think they started in on you from the very beginning, though, as far as
Yeah.
if you remember.
Like before we even started
We're gonna get
investigating,
to it.
as soon as I walked in there, the EVP started about threatening me and getting me.
Absolutely.
So during an investigation, there's a lot of teams that have tried this, but have you guys ever tried the Estes method on an investigation?
No. I just don't feel that it's safe to do that.
Sure. Especially, knowing that you're probably getting targeted or whatever.
Yes. And I wouldn't put my team members through that either.
Right. So, I mean, at this point, don't really know what's safe and what isn't, so.
Right.
Unless you've done it before, you're properly, I wouldn't say trained for it, but know what you're doing. So I respect that. Okay, so what about prior to the investigation? After you guys are all done, you had a private case, you got your entire investigation done. Do you guys have a process afterwards that you maybe check back with the owner or whatever, see how things are going? How does that work?
I usually contact them a couple of days after we've been there to see if things are still quiet. Are they ramping up again? If there's any more problems. And if they do have more activity after we leave, I will come out there and cleanse their homes again.
Okay.
And I get emails or calls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So basically, Mary, you're the nerve center.
I guess.
That's what you're taking care of most of the behind the scenes things. I like that. That's a cool concept. So when it comes to cleansing someone's home, what is the proper technique that you need to know for cleansing a premises?
Well, I'm pagan, so when I cleanse with Palo Santo. And I always start at the main entrance, the entrance of your home that you use the most. And I go counterclockwise. I have at least one window open in each room. And I sage with my own blessing, the corners, everything, cabinets, closets, any man-made energies that are in there, like light sockets and stuff like that. And I'll go throughout the whole home doing that. And then I will also show the homeowner how to do it so they can keep up, because the homeowner has more power in their home than I do.
Yes. One thing I've always been told is to claim your space.
Yes.
Once you like put some in right now, I haven't done it yet, and I wish I would have done it on the first day. But basically tell the spirits this is my place, things like that, and you probably already know the drill there. But as far as letting the homeowner know how to cleanse as well, I like to leave a stick of Palo Santos with them at least.
Yep. I leave 3 sticks with them, with each client.
Now, when it comes, so first of all, what is your take on sage? There's a lot of up and down opinions on sage, proper ones to use. There's real sage, there's fake sage you got to stay away from. What is your take on that?
Before I started using Palo Santo, I used to use white sage and cedar grass. In my opinion, I believe the Palo Santo works better at pushing stuff out and inviting positivity into your space. And it smells better.
Yes. So
I certainly don't use it anymore.
Okay. So myself, I do like to cleanse homes. First of all, I will, if I am granted permission to cleanse, I have a contract kind of drawn up already the possible side effects of the sage, what could happen, cover your smoke alarm because, it might go off, things like that.
Right.
But I like to use different kinds of sage for each investigation because each one is different. I got like dragon blood sage, white sage with cinnamon, black sage, Palo Santo. I'm
I
saying that
have
wrong.
used dragon's blood before.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm totally saying it wrong, aren't I? It's Palo Santo, right?
It's Palo Santo.
Palo Santo. Okay. I'm saying Palo Santo over here. Jeez. But yeah, so I think cleansing is a really important thing if the homeowner or whatever is up for it. So
Yep.
Perfect. Well, since we went through the entire investigation process, Casey, you're pretty quiet. What's on your mind over there?
Nothing. Let you talk.
Well, on my mind, you need to censor that little badge on your shirt there. We don't care about that.
Okay, fine.
Vikings, baby.
Okay.
There you go. That's better.
Just like blur it out a little bit or something.
Yep,
It's very offensive.
I'll just take a Vikings. I'll patch it right over the Green Bay. What you got for him, Casey?
Oh, not much. What are your most favorite equipment you guys like or don't like the most?
I still have a hard time hearing him.
I had a hard time hearing.
I think you said what? I think you said what kind of equipment do you guys like and don't like for an investigation?
What kind of equipment?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't really use much of it because honestly, my version is just do the video and I do a reading. But when we did the haunted history tours, I preferred the EMF meters, flashlights, things like that. And I usually could get more activity of that in the basements and Fort Collins. But,
Now, when you, not to cut anybody off, when you say flashlight, have you guys ever tried the flashlight technique, using that as a trigger object?
Mm-hmm. We have.
It's very cool. First time we tried it and it went off. That was awesome.
Yeah.
I only use it in Fort Collins for one spirit is in a basement of a old ice cream shop. But he was such a great character. And I love doing that because you could put it just random in the room and he would listen to what I asked him.
Wow.
I didn't need him to do it, but of course, anybody on the tour, it helped for them to know he was there. So, but that was really neat. I liked using this.
Right.
Right.
Awesome. What
My
about you
favorite-
guys?
Favorite equipment is his equipment.
Fair enough.
Very
Fair
good.
enough.
Not that equipment. No.
Before Paul,
Before Paul, yes.
before Paul, we used, all the typical stuff that was, popular at that time. And we've been doing this for a while. So, we've gone through several different types of equipment and stuff like that. But
I think we use the REM pod the most, though.
yeah,
We use the REM pod and our recorders. I don't care for ghost boxes too much.
and nothing with banked words.
Yeah.
I don't like anything with banked words in it already.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm okay with spirit boxes myself. However, I feel I feel you can't really determine what's radio static and what is genuine EVPs.
Right.
We do have the necrophonics that we use, which comes out clear responses and things like that. So that's pretty much all we use. But we do have spirit boxes. So, but I don't really believe in them very much. But
We used to use them too.
yes.
Like I said, whatever was popular at that time, we've probably used it, but nothing compares to what we use now. So.
You're a special man there.
I had to plug this in before eyes.
I'm only special because I'm blessed to be surrounded by these nerds.
There you go. There you go. You guys are the root of the awesome.
Thank you. We got to plug in before my laptop dies.
Yeah,
Awesome.
don't do what I did. My laptop died. So so now let's talk a little bit about paranormal in the state of Nebraska. Let's say somebody took a road trip to Nebraska because of paranormal. Why would Nebraska be a good state for a tourist to come to?
We have a lot of history here, a lot of old history. Downtown Omaha alone still has some buildings that I think hold some great value for history and things like that. And if we're not talking buildings, we could be talking land. There's a lot of land.
We have Fort Atkinson here.
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Wonderful place.
That's a good place to go.
We got some amazing EVPs from there. At Hummel Park, there was a house that we did a couple times that's not far from Hummel Park, and the client, what's that?
Ponca Hills?
Ponca Hills,
it's
yeah.
Ponca Hills, yeah.
The client, we did his house a couple of times, and he called us back to investigate on his land, and the things that we were able to capture and see with our own eyes was absolutely amazing. So I think a lot of people overlook the power of the land, and the land has been here, and that goes for any state really, but the land and the history behind it. There were a lot of native tribes from here that have some amazing history behind it, and we've only touched the top surface of a lot of that history. And it was honestly an amazing time to get out there and investigate that piece of land that we did. We picked up on fur traders and names of these fur traders that we were able to verify through a little bit of research.
We also picked up on Indians speaking their native tongue
Yeah,
too.
Right.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. And I think any state holds that purpose as well. Every state has its own history built into it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's just,
I feel like Minnesota is a prime example of that. For one, being the land of 10,000 lakes, obviously water is an elemental.
Yes.
And is very well, you know what I mean. So we have quite a bit of history here in Minnesota alone. So we're a prime example of that. Wisconsin, I'm not sure about because we've only done a couple of cases over there, but I'm sure Casey has quite a bit of stories too.
Yeah, it's got a lot of history here too.
Well, see, we're right on the Iowa border too, so we're no strangers to locations in Iowa since we're right across the river from them.
Yeah, like we're really close to Iowa.
Have you guys ever checked out the Victorian View Venue bridal shop in Washington, Iowa?
Does not sound familiar now.
No. Well, we did for the Global Ghost Hunt 2023. We did that, traveled all the way down there. I must say, Iowa is one of the most boring states to drive through. Oh my
Wait
goodness!
until you drive through Kansas.
Well, driven through across Nebraska.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
At least we got hills. I mean,
Well,
Kansas is just flat all the way through.
Yeah, so we're just driving through Minnesota, which where we lived was another 2.5, 3 hours to exit Minnesota, and everything was just fine. But then we get into Iowa, and all the buildings are gone, and there's just big windmills and cornfields. Like, is this gonna end?
Like, have you ever seen those windmills at night? They look like aliens from like War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Oh my
They have like
goodness.
little red dots on them and stuff with these
Oh my
big
goodness.
things. It's pretty neat.
monsters. But it was totally a worth it drive because it was a beautiful venue, very active, and I felt like I was walking into a mansion. It was beautiful,
nice.
which we're actually doing a manor on May 5th or May 4th
In Iowa?
in
No,
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Okay.
So, but we do have a few Iowa cases coming up too. I'd love to collaborate with you guys one day. That would be
Yeah.
fantastic.
Absolutely.
That would be great. So, but yeah, so Iowa is a boring state to drive through, but it's got some history. So,
Yes, they
It
do.
does. It does. Absolutely.
yeah. So anybody watching here, which obviously a lot of people know you guys. However, the people that haven't really seen much, where can we find DAMM Paranormal? I do have some of your links below, but where can we find you?
We are on Facebook under DAMM Paranormal. We do have a website as well. It's what is the DAMM Ladies of the Paranormal?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's connected to our Facebook, so you can get through it there. We don't really go out and do much, like different buildings and stuff. Like I said, we specialize in private residence and helping people.
Mm-hmm.
So if they need us, they can always reach out through our Facebook page or email
Absolutely.
us.
But we have a lot of experience in commercial buildings as well
Yes.
that we've done.
Yeah, it's not that we haven't done other stuff, but
Yeah.
we're just not out the popular sites, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah. Marcia, it looks like you got some fans in here, a lot of family coming in. I love it. This is awesome. And I must say, tonight's show has been our biggest hit in months. So we appreciate that
That's good.
from you guys. That is fantastic. We've had several viewers tonight coming in and out. And we appreciate all of that. So
I appreciate all them joining us to watch.
Absolutely. Thank you.
yes, and you guys are welcome to join the All American Paranormal Tour every Saturday night if you would like to see more of our shows. We have fantastic teams coming on.
Okay.
We're about to reach episode 40 out of 50, so we're almost done. Almost done. We're trying to complete something that nobody in the field has ever done before. So we're almost, we're more than halfway through. So we're thankful for that.
And we thank you for
Yes. So,
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for the
of
opportunity.
course. Yeah,
Thank you, guys.
Casey's like, too many shows. Just get over with it. No,
Nope, I'm good.
but no, we have a lot of fun here on the show, and we've met some fantastic people all throughout the United States. Eventually, we would like to take a real All-American Paranormal Tour and investigate instead of podcasting. So that would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But so I'd like everybody to go show these ladies some love, and ladies and gentlemen, show them some love. I don't want to leave you out there. Don't want to leave you out.
Marcus, Casey,
Appreciate
that.
thank
So,
you. We
yes.
really appreciate
Yeah,
this.
no
Of course, yeah. I guess I'm gonna close tonight with. I have one important thing I wanted to say before this one. What's next for DAMM Paranormal? You guys got any big plans going on?
We are in the process of starting our YouTube channel.
Ooh, okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, I think I'm going to close tonight with what would one piece of advice be for a newcomer in the paranormal field?
Trust your instincts.
Yeah.
Very
Don't
good one.
ghost hunt alone.
Yeah.
No.
Right?
Now, I got to throw it in. Don't pollute your own environment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And always, above all, be respectful.
Yeah.
Be respectful.
To the living and to
Yes.
the dead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Dahlia is a thing. It gets me too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Things
I
look
totally
at.
hear that. Yes,
Well,
I
again-
agree with this comment right here. Thank you. So you guys have any questions for our team or?
Well, what do you guys do mostly? Do you do private residences, or what makes up the bulk of your investigations?
We've done quite a few private residents. However, we've done more commercial buildings
Gotcha.
than we have private. And I plan to get a lot more private cases in. Every day I'm learning a new a new haunted place in the state of Minnesota and the surrounding states. So I guess the root of our investigations would almost be commercial buildings that we've done. So
Okay.
A lot of those are abandoned now, right? I mean,
yes.
so,
Yeah, and there's some out here in Minnesota and probably Wisconsin too, where they're abandoned and you almost
maybe not abandoned. I didn't really mean abandoned. I meant empty. I mean,
yes. So there are a lot of those. We also have a lot of like healthcare places that are very haunted, but because of the HIPAA law, we can't really investigate. So.
Right.
That's the sad part because you want to get your hands on a building so bad, but you can't.
Right.
So
we have a couple of buildings like that here that we want to get into, but can't.
Yep. May never do it.
Right.
They ain't gonna stop us from trying though.
No, we're always gonna try. So yeah, that's a little bit about us. So
cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully in the future we can maybe do an investigation together if you're in our neck of the woods.
Oh, of course, we're gonna have to make a little trip down to Nebraska. I see.
Oh hell yeah!
I am totally down for that. But lastly, we want to just thank DAMM Paranormal and our audience for an amazing show tonight. You guys are a very knowledgeable team. Seems like you know a lot about paranormal, the equipment being made, a very smart group of people here. So you guys seem like you'd be pretty cool to investigate with. I want to know a little bit more about Mary's drawings. So
Or it takes too long for me to show you all of them.
now I am going to offer you guys, if there's any evidence, audio, video, anything that you guys would like to share, I'd be happy to put it up on our social medias for our audience to see it.
Okay.
So if you have anything, send it over in Messenger.
I can think of a couple things.
Perfect. A good way to promote the show tonight. It's been a fantastic show. You guys have been a very great panel. And I want to open the door and say that you guys are welcome back on MNSpiritCast anytime you want.
Oh, perfect.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Absolutely.
We appreciate that.
Absolutely. Now we have a exciting concept coming for season 5 once season 4 is over. To wrap up the ALL American Paranormal Tour, we have a bigger and unexpected twist for everybody, and that's all I can really say. So we'll announce some more once we get closer to the end of season 4. So and I want you guys to be a part of that too. So I'll definitely keep contact with you guys for sure.
Please, yes,
Sounds
we would
great.
love
Yes, absolutely. Well, we're going to go ahead and close up. You guys have been fantastic. We appreciate you coming on. Like I said, it's an open door, and you're welcome to come back. Yeah, that's all I got. Casey, you got anything?
No, I don't actually.
Okay. Well, thank you guys.
A man of few words.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Again, Marcus, Casey, thank you so much. We
Yes,
really
thank
appreciate
you.
this.
Of course. I'm only a
you.
message away. So if you guys have any questions or anything, shoot me a message. I'm right there. So,
All right, sounds good.
Thank
all right,
you.
guys. Thank you so much. Have a good
Thank
night.
you. You too.
Bye.
Thanks. Bye. Okay, well, we want to thank everybody coming in and out of the audience here and showing some love for DAMM Paranormal and Minnesota Spirit Hunters. It's been a fantastic show here on the ALL American Paranormal Tour. Now you're going to get a back-to-back dose of the ALL American Paranormal Tour this weekend because we have another stop tomorrow, which will be hosted by Casey and his fiancée, Beth. We are super excited to do a back-to-back show for you guys. So don't miss that. We appreciate everything you guys keep cheering us on. So until tomorrow, we'll see you guys later. Hope you guys enjoyed. Have a great night. And as always, happy hunting.